Hello my little droogies, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 23 of Preptober. Today is the day I was planning on talking about introducing yourself on the NaNoWriMo forums and joining a big happy online writing community, but that is not going to happen. Why is that not going to happen? Because the NaNoWriMo forums are down. Why are the NaNoWriMo forums down? I am so glad you asked. Let me tell you all about it. So, for a little over a year now, I have been preparing my Preptober vlog, writing and recording the scripts, animating them, and having a lovely wholesome time in my own little bubble, completely oblivious to the fact that while I was putting my happy little vlog together, the NaNoWriMo forums were burning to the ground, and by the time I got there, I could do nothing but sift through the ashes of its charred remains. That's strange, I thought to myself. Why would the NaNoWriMo organisation shut down their forums, leaving only a vague message as an explanation? I shall investigate. Investigate I did, and oh boy, is this one of the darkest and most disturbing rabbit holes I have ever stumbled into. So I searched for all the information that I could find. I came across little scatterings here and there, but I think the most in-depth dive into the controversy that I have found is this Google Doc here that I am sad to say I cannot remember where I discovered it or who it was that put it together, but whoever did put it together though, I thank you on behalf of me, my viewers, and everybody that has read it. I have read the full document and there is so much more to the controversies than I originally thought. So much more. I am only going to be giving you guys a very brief summary of what I read, but I will link the Google document in the description for anybody who wants to read the whole thing. Okay, so controversy number one. NaNoWriMo seems to have a history of very shady sponsors like Inkit and Manuscript Press that, from what I understand, are allegedly predatory publishing companies who basically scam authors out of their publishing rights, getting the authors to pay for the publication of their own books, taking a large chunk of the profits and not really giving them anything in return. Now, from what I understand, NaNoWriMo did eventually end their partnerships with Inkit and Manuscript Press after receiving a lot of backlash, but that wasn't their initial response to the criticism. From what I have read, the initial response to any criticism of these sponsorships that were seen on the forums was to just silence anybody who was criticising the sponsors. I believe that a lot of these users were temporarily banned as a result of just voicing their legitimate concerns about these companies. Controversy number two. One of the NaNoWriMo forum moderators, referred to as Moderator X, was allegedly discovered to be running a fetish website that includes content involving minors. Allegedly, there is evidence of Moderator X luring minors from the NaNoWriMo forums to this fetish site, and there is also allegedly evidence of Moderator X luring adults from his fetish site to the NaNoWriMo forums in order to interact with minors. Now, in May of 2023, some of the NaNoWriMo forum users had become aware of this information and contacted the NaNoWriMo HQ with this information in order to prompt an investigation into Moderator X. Someone from HQ acknowledged that they had received this email and that they would look into it, but apparently nothing happened. No one seems sure whether or not there was even an investigation into Moderator X, but he was allowed to remain a mod even after all these allegations were raised. Moderator X continued to be a moderator until sometime in June of 2023 when he was finally removed as a moderator from the forums. But his removal as a moderator doesn't actually have anything to do with the allegations. It was as a result of problematic behaviour on the forums. But he wasn't initially banned from the forums, he was still an active member right up until October of 2023 when he was finally banned. The reason given for banning him was threats against the organisation. No idea what these alleged threats were, I can't seem to find any information about it. Controversy number 3, the NaNoWriMo organisation's treatment of municipal liaisons. A municipal liaison is like a regional volunteer who organises NaNoWriMo related events in their regions. There seems to be a massive load of alleged awful treatment of municipal liaisons on the part of the NaNoWriMo organisation. So apparently 3 municipal liaisons were allegedly kicked from the unofficial municipal liaison server for sharing screenshots regarding the other NaNoWriMo controversies. One municipal liaison quit because they were allegedly warned that their criticism of the NaNoWriMo HQ was violating their municipal liaison agreement. The municipal liaison agreement has been updated multiple times in the past year. Some of the updates include turning being an ML into a year-long job instead of just a few months a year, placing all the liability on the ML with little support in return, and of course a duty of confidentiality section that, from what I understand, essentially means that if NaNoWriMo fucks up in any way, the MLs aren't allowed to snitch. Obviously, a lot of municipal liaisons have quit as a result. Controversy number 4, silencing criticism. It seems like there is a long history on the NaNoWriMo forums of if anybody brings up any criticism of the organisation or the sponsors or the moderators or anything NaNoWriMo related, those people will just be silenced. Sometimes the thread is shut down, sometimes the people sharing the criticism will be temporarily banned, sometimes they'll just receive a very stern telling off by the mods or the staff, but regardless, the NaNoWriMo forums just seems to have multiple instances of people being silenced whenever they try to bring up any valid criticisms. And controversy number 5, the whole AI debacle. This is the most recent one. So basically, in September of 2024, NaNoWriMo posted a Q&A to their Zendesk, one of the questions on the Q&A being, what is NaNoWriMo's position on AI? Now, the answer they gave was, NaNoWriMo does not explicitly support or condemn any specific approach to writing, including the use of AI. Now, the full statement they gave was a lot longer, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the main thing that people picked up on are the parts that read, we also want to be clear in our belief that the categorical condemnation of artificial intelligence has classist and ableist undertones, and the questions around the use of AI tie to questions around privilege. Now, this could potentially be perceived in 2 ways. You see, there are many different kinds of AI. There is generative AI, which you could potentially use to write an entire novel for you, and there is non-generative AI. For instance, spell checker is a form of non-generative AI. I certainly do not condemn the use of spell checker when writing a novel. I use spell checker all the time because I am a moron with the spelling abilities of a 6-year-old. So this could be seen as NaNoWriMo saying, hey, you shouldn't criticise people for using spell checker, which would be totally fine. The issue is NaNoWriMo never specifies whether they are talking about generative AI or non-generative AI. In fact, they seem deliberately vague on the matter. Not even in the update they later provided did they clarify whether they were talking about generative AI or non-generative AI. They did mention generative AI and non-generative AI, but they didn't specifically say, hey, we're talking about non-generative AI. It's okay for authors to use non-generative AI, like spell checkers or text-to-speech, but it's not okay for authors to use generative AI to essentially write a book for them. Why is that? Well, it might be something to do with the fact that Pro Writing Aid, one of NaNoWriMo's sponsors, uses generative AI. So that little bit of information is pretty relevant because it changes the perceived message from you shouldn't judge people for using spell checker or text-to-speech in their novel to our sponsor uses generative AI, and if you have an issue with that, then you are classist and ableist. which is very much the sort of message that I have come to expect from NaNoWriMo. So those are just 5 of the many controversies surrounding the NaNoWriMo organisation. If you want to know more, I highly encourage you to read the Google Doc in the description. It has so much more information and it does a much better job of explaining things than I do. But now that I am up to date with all of the controversies, how does that affect me and my opinions on NaNoWriMo? Now, this is going to sound weird, but the fact that there was an alleged child predator acting as a moderator on the NaNoWriMo forums is not something that I would condemn them for. I know that sounds bad, but hear me out. There are child predators all over the internet. The internet is a pedo's playground. They are absolutely everywhere, especially in forums and communities that are designed specifically for children. If you have a large online community and a large part of that community are minors, it is tragically unavoidable that at some point a pedo is going to find their way over there and start using the forums to try and groom children. What I do find extremely concerning is the fact that the NaNoWriMo HQ were made aware of the allegations against Moderator X, and they seemingly did nothing about it. That's the messed up part. As soon as the allegations against Moderator X were brought to light, the NaNoWriMo HQ should have immediately suspended his moderator status, and I think at least temporarily banned him from the forums while the investigation took place. That's assuming that there even was an investigation at all, which at this point I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't. The sponsors, I think it's really concerning that NaNoWriMo would promote companies like Inkit and Manuscript Press to their community of aspiring authors. Companies like these have the potential to do so much harm to so many people who NaNoWriMo are supposed to be encouraging and helping. And the fact that NaNoWriMo have accepted sponsorships from companies like this shows that either they aren't doing their due diligence in terms of researching their sponsors, or they just don't care and are happy to screw over their community for money. Now, obviously, NaNoWriMo has since cut ties with Inkit and Manuscript Press and said that they've hired a consultant and promised that their vetting process will change dramatically when it comes to sponsors, which is a good thing, but I would still encourage people to do their own research when it comes to any NaNoWriMo sponsors they might consider using, just to be on the safe side. As for the treatment of the municipal liaisons, I think NaNoWriMo just shot themselves in the foot with that one. These are volunteers who are organising these events out of the goodness of their hearts, and newsflash, they do not need your permission to organise meetups and write-ins. They can do that on their own. Obviously, they can no longer do these things on behalf of NaNoWriMo using the NaNoWriMo name, but why would they want to after the way that NaNoWriMo have treated them? I just know that a large amount of municipal liaisons have stepped down, and I wish them luck in organising writing events free from the NaNoWriMo organisation. Silencing people who criticise them. Well, the forums were still closed the last time I checked, so congratulations, you have successfully silenced all of your critics on the NaNoWriMo forums. I am sure you are having a great time with that. And finally, the AI controversy. I'm going to be honest, I find this kind of funny because of all the NaNoWriMo controversies, I'd say this one is the least harmful to its members, but it's also the one that people went absolutely crazy about. I mean, a moderator was allegedly grooming minors on the forums. I didn't hear about it for over a year, but NaNoWriMo made an idiotic statement about AI and the whole internet went nuts. Everybody was talking about this. I heard about it as soon as it happened, and I heard about it from multiple different sources. How do I feel about it? At this point, I just find it hilarious, just watching from the sidelines, munching away at my popcorn as the NaNoWriMo organisation just digs a deeper and deeper hole for themselves. I swear to God, at this point, I would not be surprised if the NaNoWriMo organisation accepted a sponsorship from WeBurnBooks.com and when asked, hey, what is NaNoWriMo's position on burning books? They just say, well, we feel like book burning is too broad of a subject to categorically condemn or endorse. And you know, when you think about it, there are lots of books out there that are extremely racist or sexist or homophobic. So if people condemn book burning, then that makes them a sexist, racist, homophobe. That's like, that just sums up the NaNoWriMo organisation for me. Just, they like money and they like companies that give them money, and yeah, they'll just promote anybody who pays them. So how has this changed my vlog and what I'm going to be doing for National Novel Writing Month? Not a lot, to be honest. I know a lot of people are turning their backs on NaNoWriMo altogether in protest. I completely understand that, but I think that outside of the forums and the sponsors, the website itself is a very useful tool that a lot of people put a lot of work into, and I feel it still has value as a website and as a resource for writers. And you know, the NaNoWriMo organisation doesn't financially benefit just from me using the website. How do I feel about the organisation now? I'm not sure. From what I have read, it seems that there has been just a massive turnaround of staff. Like, almost everybody who was around this time last year is now gone, which is a step in the right direction since all of the most problematic controversies happened under these guys' watch. At the same time, it seems like the NaNoWriMo organisation is now severely understaffed to the point where it will be extremely difficult for them to do any of the things that they are supposed to be doing. So I guess that's something that I'm just going to have to watch and see what happens from here. One thing that I need to consider now, though, is that this video was originally supposed to be a video about the NaNoWriMo forums and becoming a part of the NaNoWriMo community. Well, obviously, I am no longer going to be making that video because, one, the NaNoWriMo forums are still closed, or at least they were the last time I checked, and two, even if they were open, the NaNoWriMo forums are a place that people are leaving en masse and not looking to join. But obviously, having a supportive community has always been a massive part of the NaNoWriMo experience. Here on the NaNoWriMo prep page, there is an entire week dedicated to growing your writing community. But if NaNoWriMo can no longer provide that community, then where are writers who are looking for that kind of community going to go? And that's what I'm going to be talking about in tomorrow's video. I feel like I've kind of just wasted a whole video just going over all of the controversies that NaNoWriMo has caused, but hey, if NaNoWriMo could just go 5 minutes without starting a whole new controversy, then this video wouldn't have been so long and I could have spent time talking about something else. But anyway, in tomorrow's video, we are going to be looking into finding new and helpful and welcoming communities for people who are looking to find a new community now that the NaNoWriMo forums are closed. We will be trying to find the right community for you based on a whole bunch of different factors, such as the genre of the novel that you are writing, how involved you want to be with the community, and whether you want this writing community to be something that you are only involved with over the month of Nano, or whether you are looking for something more permanent that can be there to support you through your writing process all year long. As for today and your homework, I don't know. Take the day off, catch up on any homework you're running behind on, or, you know, read the Google Doc, do a deep dive into all of the NaNoWriMo controversies and just laugh at the increasing ridiculousness of it all. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of this video. I'm not sure if I did the best job of explaining the NaNoWriMo controversies, so if there are any details I got wrong, or if there are any other controversies that I missed out, please leave a comment letting me know. But for now, yeah, internet drama is exhausting. I'm going to take a nap. Hi there, Avery from the future back again. That didn't take long. Just wanted to clarify a mistake I made. In this video I referred to moderator X as male. I do not know why. There was nothing in the Google Doc to suggest moderator X's gender. I guess I just hear the words child predator and just automatically assume male, which is very, very sexist of me, because since making this video I have learned a little more about the moderator X situation, and from what I have heard, moderator X is actually a woman. So my bad. Kids, don't trust anybody that you meet online. It turns out women are just as dangerous as men. There's also rumours circulating that moderator X might be dead now, but also that moderator X might have faked her death. I don't know. One day I might do a really deep dive and make a more detailed video with all the information that I can find, but for now I'm going to concentrate on NaNoWriMo and Preptober and actually getting some writing done. So yeah, see you tomorrow, I hope.